Welcome to the rabbit hole. Right now, we want to have a moment of silence. We lost a great lady today in Queen Elizabeth II, and we'd just like to get a moment in silence before we start the show. Hey, everybody, welcome to tonight's episode of The Rabbit Hole on 9/8/2022. As we had mentioned in the beginning of the show, real quick, that, Queen Elizabeth II has passed away this this morning, our time, and in the evening time over there in the UK. God bless the Queen and all of that good stuff. Um, so on today's show, we're going to discuss some Ukraine, Russia, and China, and we're going to also discuss some Mar-a-Lago and Trump, and we're going to dive into a little bit of the Oath Keepers. So for some of you if don't know what Oath Keepers are, pay attention to the show, and you might learn something. That's all I got to say there. And I would like to say to my co-host, how's it going, fellas, tonight?
What's going on? Be watching some football via the phone right now. First night in NFL too. So good luck to everybody, I guess. Hope the teams do well this year.
And that's another thing. That's right. The NFL season kicks off tonight at 8:20. And I believe it's the Rams in the Buffalo Bills, and you got the Buffalo Bills, up there, maybe making the Super Bowl this year, and we'll see what happens. But enough of that stuff. And since we touched a lot of base on Mar-a-Lago and Trump last week, we're gonna let my boy D open this one up, and he's still not convinced. He's still not believing in it, I guess, or Trump's the bad guy, or something to that nature. So you got the floor, my friend.
Thanks, Blaze. So my biggest two terms I want to stick in y'all heads while I start ranting some shit out is unethical or illegal. And I want you guys to keep that in mind, unethical or illegal. So him bringing the documents to Mar-a-Lago, unethical or illegal?
Unethical.
Unethical?
Maybe both. I'm not sure about illegal, but maybe both.
Okay. I've come at the beginning of all this crap with Mr. Trump. I was like unethical, okay, he's got a bad rap with the Democrats, and he's just playing. hate to use the word, whose lower appendage is bigger. Um, and and hot damn it, man, I just can't stand this dude, man. I really don't. His demeanor, like he's above the law. And before I get to the documents of what we've talking about and stuff, I was kind of shocked to see Hillary Clinton and whatever,
Chelsea.
yeah, Horseface, on the View talking about these documents, and I'm like, wow, what a what, what a
What a douchebag.
yes, to actually try. Oh, she compares her little fiasco with Mr. Trump's fiasco as him being worse. And it just comes back to his campaign, back in 2015, 16, before he did his run, how we would have the audience lock her up, lock her up. Well, fuck, man. We're at a point right now we need to lock him up, you know? Uh nuclear codes, and I'm pretty sure I never dealt with nuclear codes, but I did a couple of days in the army, and them codes are changed daily, and they're authenticated by more than one person. Okay, and I couldn't tell you, who authenticates or anything like that. But why in the hell did he take plans, operational? No, it wasn't operational. It was nuclear capabilities of a country that he has, and we're still trying to determine if it was foe or friend. Now let's think of the countries that have nuclear weapons. It's not that many of them, and I'm going to start signing them off: China, Russia, Pakistan, um, French. Who?
Iran.
I
They got some capability nuclear wise.
Yes,
They're getting a lot more.
yes. Damn, Donnie. What? There was another one. Pakistan. Anyways,
Israel.
yes. I don't think it's more than 10 countries. So
Mm-mm.
why in the hell does he need this at his fucking country club residence? And I don't even think he resides in that place. I think it's just a country club. And the documents where he had this in his office there, this country club, a lot of visitors go by there and stuff. And I, I just can't defend Mr. Trump on this. I can't. I can't stand him. And for
Well,
the simple,
where's the document saying that he has that he had that information?
uh, the New
There
York
ain't one.
Times, the New
There ain't
York
one.
Times,
There
and the
ain't one.
Washington Post. Yes, there is.
There
Yes,
ain't
there
one.
is. And him doing a special master, getting that, and we all
Just
knew.
think about the two news companies that you just blasted off that did nothing but attack him his entire presidency for 4 years. The two companies that were
I don't.
100% a
I
part of
don't.
hiding Hunter Biden's laptops and everything, and we're
No.
supposed to sit there and oh shit, the Washington Post and the New York Times said it, so it's got to
It,
be true.
and wasn't only the Washington Post and the New York Times. A lot of media agencies, outlets have come up on this, and I got the Google page out, but I'm not going to list it out. But I really have a strong inclination that he stole the government plans, our government, not his, of France. I really believe that he has a hard on with the French President Macron, and I think he wanted to blackmail him during his next uh, election for the French folks. Blaze, what are you
Why?
doing? What are you doing with plans? What are you doing with any type of document? It's not yours, Donald. It's ours, and we have rules for it.
Wow, the thing
It
that
it's
just like
not
I
his. I'm fucking tired of him. I really am. He needs,
like
he
I
needs
said,
to go. Him, Joe Biden needs to go so this country
I
can
don't,
perform again.
but I don't understand why you didn't have the same reaction when Obama kept his files.
Well, what did Obama have? What
Well,
did
I don't
Obama
know.
have?
What exactly did he have? Do you know?
Yeah, Skillcraft pen.
Yeah, that's
A
it, huh?
Skillcraft pen. Yes. Yep.
And it's been documented that he told them that he wasn't giving them shit back,
Oh,
and he never did. So what makes his paperwork different from what Trump has took home?
because it's nuclear plans, man.
It's
You know, wait a minute.
Until I see this paperwork that says it's nuclear plans, D, I'm not buying into what anybody has to say about it. Okay,
all these documents Trump took, people died for that. CIA agents died to get that information. Spies died for that. Americans died for that. Foreigners. You think he cares? Hell no. What did he say at the World War II site over there in Luxembourg?
We touched base on that already. He never fucking
suckers.
said that,
Fuck
man.
him.
Come on.
Nope.
Come on.
Lock him up. 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 Lock him
You
up.
got nothing
Lock
based
him
on
up.
there.
Yeah, I do.
All you did was just come out with a bunch of talking points
No,
and
I
shit
don't.
that you was listening on the fucking news about. You ain't got no
Nope.
hard evidence.
Blaze,
None.
I don't have a cable TV subscription in this house, man.
I'm telling you.
I don't watch news. I refuse to.
I don't know.
Come on,
I have
stick
that hard to believe that you don't watch news.
I don't have cable TV here, bro. The wife refuses.
That doesn't matter if you don't have cable TV. You
Yeah,
got a
whatever,
cell phone.
man.
That's all you need.
Whatever.
That's all you need.
Nope. I got a good E7. I got a good E7 buddy that shares news with me.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
Okay, man. Let's go. Dude,
Donnie.
I agree with you. Listen. I agree with you. And I want to come back to a point you talked about. And you said people being above the law. We need to come back to that later on in a different segment because I want to go down that rabbit hole too one time. But yes, Trump needs to get, I'm not going to say locked up. But if it's this special master defines all that and he had nuclear plans or planning operations for other countries, our countries, if he had operational plans for our countries, that shit doesn't leave the White House or wherever it's at. It gets put away into a briefcase. It goes away.
Why is the DOJ fighting this then?
Because the severity of what they were asking for repeatedly that Donald Trump didn't give back. Let's all understand the heated process. They went through and they said, hey, we're waiting for these. So the last custody record, maybe they said that Donald Trump signed them out. I don't know. But that's what I'd like to see is custody records for all these documents. Because somebody had to sign for them or somewhere, somebody tracking them. So let's see that and see who helped him. Because Mr. Trump didn't get all this stuff alone. There's people that helped him get some of that documentation because he asked for it. I understand, right? They put it in a box for him, but behind the point,
nobody's saying
that.
Nobody's saying the DOJ is going to have a fucking show and tell, and put the documents on a screen for everybody to read. But nobody knows shit because it's all hearsay. And if the DOJ wasn't worried about having a master assigned to it so they can make sure that, they're not planting fucking documents in this fucking bullshit, then I don't understand why the DOJ so hot up about fucking appealing this, because that's what they're going to do. They gave the judge till Friday to create a stay. Okay, and if she doesn't do it, then the DOJ is going to go and appeal the fucking situation. So if you're not worried, or if it's such a big deal of what he's got, why isn't this out in everybody's face? Because they certainly don't have a problem with leaking the stuff that Mr. D just fucking ran out and talked about. You know what I mean? They don't have a problem leaking that shit. So what are they hiding? What are they scared about? They're scared because the shit don't mean nothing. That's why.
No.
Oh,
Trump
God.
asked for a special master.
God.
Listen.
God.
Wow. That's no.
Go ahead,
We'll go to that later. The special master. The reason the Department of Justice doesn't want that is because they're laying out the facts, the same thing that this special master is supposed to do. They're already laying that stuff out, the details and documents and everything. Why do they need to turn it over to another party to do it?
I'll tell you
That's
why.
their appeal. That's their appeal.
I'll tell
Okay,
you
you
why.
tell me why you think why. I got a reason why too.
It's only a
I
time.
think we all have a reason why.
It's only a time delay tactic from the defense, because that special master, he or she, if she's sharp, she can prolong. He or she can prolong this for years, man. Analyzing each freaking document to the T, man.
Exactly.
Looking at that custody record you talked about,
Exactly.
Donnie.
So what do you want to happen? You want them to just throw a fucking piece of paper on a table and say, "Oh yeah, well this is why." You know what I mean? Or do you want you being the one that's on the defense side want your fucking master or attorneys or whatever to overlook these documents the best as possible? Because if there was a smoking gun out there, boys, Trump would be in handcuffs already. So I don't understand.
No, he's not going to be in handcuffs. He's not going to be in
What do you mean he's not going to be in handcuffs?
No, he won't be, because the Department of Thing, this prolonged attack that they've been doing for the last I don't know how many years. This allowed them to gather evidence and gather evidence and gather evidence. That's why it's because they're going to make damn sure they got a smoking gun before they put somebody like that in do that. He's too popular. So yeah, it's going to drag on, and I agree with Demas. The special master deal is a great thing for Trump because it lays it out. So guess what? Now the prosecution has to let more, and I know where they're coming from, so I can better defend this. And I think Trump and them got a lock hard, just no, you can't dispute defense that they're not talking about, and they're so they can see more what to defend.
So then, and in my opinion, all of this is about is to stopping him from running for presidency in 2024.
Right.
That's what all of this is about.
But the cowboy guy out in New Mexico, that little district court case, that just set a precedent for what they can use to go after Trump. Because that guy has been told he's got to be. They removed him from office or whatever because he got found guilty. Because under Article 6 or Article 5 of the Constitution, where it talks about doing things against your country, they prosecuted that dude for that.
And look what Lindsey Graham said to the nation. I mean, he didn't go on 60 Minutes or anything. Anything coming out of his mouth, the nation hears. He says, if Trump gets indicted, that will cite violence through the country. A fucking senator said that shit. A senator. That's provoking civil war, man.
Is it? So what Biden said the other fucking night on TV didn't provoke nothing?
No,
what Biden said the other night didn't provoke nothing, huh?
Hear me out.
No, okay. So, I'm going to hear you out.
No, so you ever heard of the term lead by example?
Oh, Jesus fucking
No,
Christ.
and I'm serious, man. Wow, this nicotine gum's kicking in.
Lead by example.
Yeah, but who wants to be like Biden? Fuck Biden, man.
No.
Okay. So if Biden did it, that means I got to do it. So if John the killer kills somebody, I'm going to do it too.
I understand what you're saying, Demas. That's no different.
You know exactly. You know exactly where I'm going with this, Donnie.
What you're saying is no different than when Maxine Waters was out in California talking about get up in your face, push on them, and get up there, let your voice be heard. Well, you're inciting violence with that talk. But now you want to use that same tactic and try to persecute Trump for his words? Come on now. Let's go.
Oh, man.
I got to come to his defense a little bit on that. I don't need to do bad for our country. He doesn't need to be our leader for a whole lot of other reasons. But
he can be a leader, but he's not going to. I don't want to see him commander in chief. You see him playing with documents that the commander has. Come on, dude.
No, he doesn't.
Come on, and you want to do this again to him? And all he's doing is getting these documents to keep. Donnie, you always talk about generational wealth. Mr. Trump likes generational knowledge to keep his family successful in this politics world, man.
Of course.
And I'm telling you today,
But
right
they
now.
all do that.
Yeah.
Nah, not
What
as
do you
dirty.
mean?
No, they all do it.
Look at
not
fucking
as-
Nancy Pelosi and her husband
Yeah,
with
hell
fucking
yes.
buying stock
yes,
in
they all
cars
do.
and shit.
Hell
Come
yes,
Do
on.
it.
they all do.
Do
They
it.
all do
Do
it.
it.
I know. Trump is the
They all
only
do
one
it.
who does it, right? Nobody else in politics does that shit.
No, half the reason
Obama
because-
came in. Obama
Wait a minute.
became president. His net fucking worth was not even $200,000 with the both of them. Now the guy's worth 400 fucking some odd $1 million. Where's
Correct.
that come from?
Correct.
Books.
His time,
Well,
all the
books,
connections and
yeah,
everything he had in Congress. Come on now,
Okay,
they
yeah,
all do it.
come from
You
books.
know what?
It came
You
from
know what I
books.
think some of this is about with Trump? It's just because Trump had
shit.
the genital fortitude to stand in front of them and say, yes, I'm going to use my position and I'm going to get some more money out of it. And there's nothing you can do about it. He had the courage to stand there and say that. So half of them are pissed off because they know he's right, but you just let everybody else in America know what we do. You kind of, it was like he broke one of them locker room rules. You broke the locker room rule. That was supposed to. So now they're just pissed
Yes,
off
sir.
and they want to go after him. And it's enough of that already.
Well, I can buy that. I can buy that.
Look,
But
look who Trump is affiliated with.
A bunch
You know,
of-
Steve Bannon just got fucking not sentenced, but arraigned in court for fucking that Build the Wall campaign, which they were able to generate $25 million from the American people. And the line was, get your name on a brick for life and we'll put it in the wall. That shit didn't fucking happen. They pocketed all that money under fucking Trump, man. Trump's scheme.
Exactly. That's business. That's where
No, Donnie.
No,
That's
Demas. That is the way Trump has done his business his entire life. That's the way that man's probably done business his entire life and knows how to do business.
shit. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How
No,
much
I
did
think
it cost?
I'll
To
say
stop, how much did it cost to
illegal.
stop building a wall?
I don't know,
How much did it cost to stop building a wall?
I don't know. It was some other
Oh,
dude. I read it earlier and I
So,
don't
like-
remember. I want to say it's
and
maybe 5 million. But Bannon's getting charged for money laundering and some kind of thing that goes along with a Ponzi scheme type charge. It's all financial stuff. Look at the CFO. He took the fall for Trump. Trump really gets involved with law enforcement. It's about money, maybe avoiding taxes, not paying them, money laundering. It's all in that general area. That's why I say no. We don't need that as a president. He's been arrogant enough, and just the way he is, it's just what he knows to do. He goes head on into any kind of confrontation. It's head on. I'm the bigger bull, and he's just going to fight people. And the Democrats and everybody else, they're just like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like two Brahma bulls in a pen. Till one of them dies, it's just going to be a fight.
How you think it would have been easier to skim off the top with $900 million or $1 billion or $5 billion to stop building a wall?
Dude,
So then the Democrats come along, they shut everything down. Now there's billions of dollars of material just laying fucking waste across the fucking desert.
Yep. And they use some of it for what they called were already approved or already planned improvements. And that, the extra 100 feet or so or whatever it was that Biden, swore up and down, not another foot of wall. Now all of a sudden another 100 foot is there. Yeah, that's what they used that for. So it didn't go bad. At least they did something. But you're right. There's a lot of money wasted right there.
and let's not forget where the almighty Donald Trump got some of that money for the wall. What budget did he go into?
Defense budget, military budget. He took from the troops.
Wow. He loves his
money from the
military,
troops.
don't he? He loves his military, don't he? And with the VA, Trump didn't do shit. It was all Obama. And you could look it up. That first act, that was all fucking President Obama.
What was Obama?
The first.
Because
is
everything that I ever learned about the fucking VA was fucking veterans were dying left and right under Obama's watch.
No.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
No,
Come
you
on.
can't believe everything you hear in a fucking
It is
VFW wall.
true.
Nope.
It
'cause
is
you got
true.
alcohol.
And it's
You
got
got
nothing
alcohol.
to do with
Yeah,
it.
you do,
VFW
man.
Hall. What's a VFW Hall got to do with anything?
Hey,
There was
Blaze,
a huge
Blaze.
scandal about it. Where was you? Where
Oh,
was you when this fucking scandal was happening?
shit. You
It
know,
was fucking veterans
Serpent-
dying left and right. They fucking couldn't see doctors for fucking months. They were dying of cancer. They were dying of fucking everything.
I seen that. I seen that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
I-
you've
that
seen
was
that.
it.
So
I
whose
seen
watch
that.
was that under?
And that's-
Barack
and that's-
Obama.
And that's when the first came to light, man.
The
that's
first came
what-
to light.
Yeah.
That was his second term.
No, Donnie, please.
It was his second term when it happened.
What do you?
Yeah, it was, and that's
Oh,
when
okay.
the,
So he
when
must
the
have been,
first
you know,
law came
must have,
back.
the light must have not fucking found him in his first term then, right?
My friend, you are very ignorant when it comes to this subject. You
I'm
are.
not ignorant
Yeah,
when it comes
you're
to
not.
the subject.
You're not. You read too much. Myself, I live it. I walk in them fucking halls. I see them veterans. I see the ones that fucking lie. I see the ones that only do 2 years and they fucking complain about every fucking thing. And then I see my buddies with 20 years and they can't even get 10% of the VA. So please don't fucking tell me. Don't tell me every fucking veteran is fucking up there all fucking broke.
Nobody's saying that they
It's a
all are.
fucking loophole. It's a loophole.
A loophole for what? Getting what you deserve? What's
It-
what's the loophole?
Oh, dude.
Prescriptions,
Dude,
prescriptions, medical devices. There's the loophole. That's where they make money, because if you follow the senators and their money, they're invested in companies that revolve or evolve. That's their prime business, is to be in the pharmaceutical industry. That's why. That's where the money's
Everybody's
Sure.
involved in that. The more
I
you
know,
peddle
but
it out, the
that's
more you
where
make.
go. So that's where Demas is going about. You're saying about, Obama was so shitty on troops or whatever. He actually tried to do something about the VA, the little one rogue thing in Phoenix, Arizona,
Yeah,
if I remember
but
right.
after
was-
it happened, after
Pittsburgh.
it
too.
was happening
didn't-
for years, you only
exactly,
take a
but-
blind eye for nothing until
So-
everything starts to
Right.
come out. Then you
See,
say,
Blake,
"Oh,
Blake,
I got to
Blake,
do something
understand.
about it."
Listen,
You know what I
Blake,
mean?
what Demas is telling you is that is not on Obama. That is on the Secretary of Health or whatever, and the
No,
the
VA.
appointed VA, the head dude of the entire VA system, or head lady, because they're appointed to that position, if I remember right. So that's on them, because it had to have taken an IG complaint that went somewhere for that to come to light, because that's why it went so long. Nobody never complained, because once again, as veterans, we think, well, they just preach to us, we go to VA. No, we don't have to go to VA. We can go other places. You know what I mean? The loophole
Right.
is, that's where veteran serves VA, new veteran serves VA, new veteran serves VA. And that keeps that money train just chugging right on down the road.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That was a fired up first segment. Oh shit! I can't wait for number 2, 3, and 4. Shit.
Yeah, you're all right. But Trump is.
He's got to go.
I'm
He's
back
got
on
to
the
go.
fence. I'm back on the fence. It's like, you got to go. But if you're gonna persecute Trump off of your mishandling of government documentation, then you better go arrest Hillary and charge her with the same thing, because that I don't care about is the same charge whether it's an email or an
I
actual
agree.
physical piece of paper. You should have
I
never
agree,
had any government work on a private server in your home. I don't care if it's convenient. You should have built your little government stuff and had a VPN and did everything you did. It should have
Well,
been
that
all
makes
on
the
government
most
computers.
sense
Right,
out of
right.
everything we
So-
just talked about, Donnie. Because if
So
you're
you-
gonna fucking arrest one, arrest the other.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
you gotta
but there,
arrest
nobody's getting arrested here. Nobody. They're
No.
in that class, that elite class.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
but
and I think
exactly. They don't. Who cares if they put him behind bars? They want to get it so it says on a piece of paper that he can never run for office again, and that's it.
you know,
They don't.
you know,
They don't care if they put him behind bars. They don't
Well,
give a
no.
shit about that.
no,
You're
hell no,
100% right.
hell no.
You're
You're right.
100% right.
You're right, Blaze.
But that sets a bad precedence for how we're going to do politics in the future. Oh, I don't like you. you did something dirty. Oh, I'm gonna take you to court and try to say you can never run again. Is that the new tactic we're gonna use?
Exactly,
That's bad
right?
politics,
I
and
get
you can't
exactly
run a
what you're
nation
saying,
that
Donnie.
way.
Is it going to be for everybody? No, it's not.
You
It's
can't.
not.
So we got to make a decision here, and somebody's got to say, "Hey, we're going after it, or we don't have enough," because we can't
Right.
keep running the country this way. We're
Right.
losing
And with
so
that
much.
being said, right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stick around for some more Rabbit Hole right here on FFN Radio Network and Blaze Man Media. And we'll be back in exactly 4 minutes. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Rabbit Hole. So it was, first segment of the night was a little bit tensed, and that's what the Rabbit Hole brings to you fine folks out there watching the show. I just want to throw this out there real quick that 87% of the COVID fundings still hasn't been spent.
Where'd you get that from? Fox News?
So no, I didn't get that from Fox News. I got it from what I was reading.
well, that document should have an author, a sponsor, a media
An author
group.
or a sponsor.
Yeah, media group. What does it belong to? Fox, CNN, MSNBC? Tell me. Tell me.
All three of them. All three of them. It was from all three of them.
What's three of them?
All
The left
ones
wing,
you
the
just
right wing
named.
media.
The last three that you just read.
Blaze, the point I'm trying to make on this.
Look,
fucking
there's
wait a
no
minute.
point
No,
you're trying to make because you sat there in the first segment with talking points the whole time.
No, I'm not.
The
No,
talking
it's not
points.
talking points.
You're
No,
at a
it's not.
headlining.
No,
and
I
you
want to
talked
fucking
about
tell
it.
you something. I am more smarter than fucking media to fucking figure out what's going on right or wrong. I don't need a
Exactly.
fucking crutch. I don't need a fucking
Exactly.
crutch to go fucking read and determine where this country's at. You can fucking see it.
Exactly.
And it ain't a fucking talking point. That's what's happening. That's happening.
Exactly. And who's in office?
Well, no.
See,
he
can
needs
just
to
never
go
come.
too, Blaze.
You know,
He needs to go too. He needs to go too because him.
then who's there? Then who's there?
I don't care. I don't fucking care. Them two need to go, man. It's the Biden family versus the Trump family, man. Crackheads versus studs.
All I'm saying is that I don't know what they're waiting for to start spending this money. So maybe they're hoping that we'll all fucking forget about it and then they can blow it and everybody can put a little bit in their pockets here and there. Who knows? But
I don't think it's and I heard a number like that. What I'm really now I wouldn't say upset but confused, and maybe the money man can help me. So what Blaze said, if we didn't waste that money, that trillion, what was it, 1.5 with Trump, because Trump fucked it up too. Let's not just say Joe Biden, okay? Because Trump was a dumb motherfucker too. And then Joe Biden smashed. So if we're not spending that money, Donnie, I thought all this money was the reason why we're in an inflation recession.
That's part of it. It's part of the reasons why.
But
because a lot of states are. That's not at the federal level. States are using their money for other projects because during all the little legislative branch stuff, there was probably something earmarked that said, "Hey, if you get to this certain point, the rest of these funds can be used discretionary." Well, they probably had that key term right there, discretionary.
Versus
meaning
mandatory.
They can use those funds as they see fit. As far as mandatory, like the one guy was act and everybody got in an uproar about, but he was arguing that simple fact right there. What discretionary funds turn into slush funds. Slush funds turn into corruption and greed. And that's just not what we need. So that's where a lot of spending's at too.
Hey,
but
say that again.
Are we going to see that? I don't know.
Say that tree again. I love it, man. Say that tree again. How money's the PACT Act, the slush funds, and then corruption. Say that again.
Oh, turn into slush funds, which turns into corruption and leads to greed. That's where that goes.
So would that be unethical or illegal?
Both, because your conduct as an individual is unethical. It's not what you did, or you're upholding your end of the contracts or oaths that you take to being a government official and employee type stuff. So, there's that part. But the other stuff, it's illegal because
that's what I want.
You're not going, or you're not. There's something in there that says discretionary funds are supposed to fall into certain areas. So where it gets illegal is when you don't use it in them certain areas, and they find the money trail and they find it that way. You know what I mean? That's where it gets. That's where it's illegal.
Thank you, Donald. Blaze man, I am done with my segment, sir.
I'm done.
I am done, brother.
I just saying. I mean, what are we gonna? We're gonna talk about VA, or what are we? Biden.
No,
they're both
Blaze
bad
was
for our
talking.
country.
What's that?
Biden and Trump. They're both bad for our country. I just hope somebody somewhere along the way has enough gumption to run against him as a Democrat. But I'm not sure about the candidates. The guy from California, no, because he's just going away. Beto, no, same thing. He's going to take all your guns and lead us right into, government control of damn near everything. So I don't know. That's a good. And the transportation guy, I don't know.
No.
There's nobody. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier. Who is there? Nobody.
Yeah. So
There's nobody.
If
You
we
can't
don't get
give
somebody,
Gavin Newsom. Come on,
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes, and shit. When Joe was overseas, he was there measuring curtains at the White
Yeah.
House.
yeah.
At the White House. But no, Blaze. So California, you've been there, lived it. You've experienced rolling blackouts and all that shit. California is the most populated state in the United States. Last time I looked, I think it was 32 million. It's probably more. So the big
About
question,
38.
38. Thank you. So the big question I got: where is California going to get these extension cords to run from Arizona, Nevada? And these extension cords are going to be put in electric. Nevada, Oregon up top with these big extension cords because they can't even power air conditionings in their homes. And
Exactly.
They want to power fucking
They're
cars.
asking their people now, their citizens now, to not charge their electrical cars, but you want to be all electric by 2035, right? You
Correct.
realize that it will take. They would have to build. Let's see here. I'm going to check my notes real quick. They would have to build California, and they probably wouldn't even still scratch the surface of powering electric cars, plus everything else that they need to power. It would take them 5 nuclear power plants. They would have to build 5 more nuclear power plants to be able to sustain all of that energy and electricity that they want to spew. So if you got, we're not going to say all 38 million people in California drive, all right? Let's not say that. But let's say 30 million of them do, okay? And say you got half of that charging their cars up in the course of like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And you're asking your constituents, the people of California now to conserve energy because what you have now can't even supply your state with the power that it needs. But you're going to go all electric by 2035.
But and I agree with you. They're full of shit, Blaze. But it goes back to what Donnie says. Follow the money. With these cars, the batteries. The politics to it. It's not common sense no more. It's just me. Fucking Pelosi.
Right.
Miss
Hey, when I'm not a congressman no more, what fucking company can I work for that's going to pay me $2 million a year? You know what I mean? That's where it goes. That's where it all happens.
And shit, Pelosi's already looking for a parachute. And you know where she's going to parachute to if she doesn't win the Congress this November? Fucking Italy as an ambassador. I'm serious, Blaze. I'm serious as shit. She needs to go back to San Francisco and eat them ice creams before she expires.
Exactly. She's not going to do nothing there.
No, dude.
She's not going to do nothing there.
What are you talking about?
I saw pictures in Italy. No, she's going to go over there and fuck up that country.
Hell no, she ain't. Hell no, she ain't, because she's going to be too busy sitting her ass on the beach. Enjoying
That's what I'm saying. You're going to do nothing there.
You ain't going to do nothing. But
shit,
have a vacation on taxpayer dollar.
Hey,
we just got to hope that she likes the Italian ice cream out there.
Hey, Blaze, but don't worry. Paul will be happy. They got some good wine over there here in Italy.
Yeah,
but,
fucking DUI
Blaze,
motherfucker. Yeah.
Let's go back to your electric point.
Okay.
What you said something right there. To power it, you need to build 5 nuclear plants.
It's
What's
easy.
the problem? Huh?
I said easy. They'll need to build 5, if not more.
Okay. So what's the problem with building a nuclear plant that we're seeing in Ukraine right now?
That's why
They
I don't
don't
want them
have
to
the-
build it.
Huh? They don't have the fresh water to cool the reactors. And they're going
Exactly.
to use you better be able to figure out how to use the ocean to cool it, because I'll be
They
damned,
do.
you're going to take fresh water and you're going to take that away from crops. Hell no. You know
Donnie,
what I'm saying?
they
Don't
do-
be that stupid.
They do have that technology.
Okay, good then. Okay.
Look at the Fukushima, the one in Japan. That was right off the ocean. I'm pretty sure they were dragging the water out of there.
Oh, of
Blade-
course. They
Blade,
have
the
to.
one,
probably.
the one that's in Plymouth, not in Plymouth, near the Cape Cod. They just closed it down off the bay. That was pumping
No,
water
Venus.
from the bay
I'm just
to cool
saying.
it down. No,
Yeah,
I'm just
make sure. Use that water, because don't take fresh water and use it for that, because of some of their decisions. You know what I mean? And they're forcing farmers to make those decisions. Which crop brings me more money, because they're going to take away my water. You know what I mean? So they didn't grow strawberries. They didn't grow this. And we're worried about electric cars. I mean, shit.
The
I
best
might want to
thing.
worry about that other stuff.
Yeah, but the best thing that I read today is scientists got the plant, a nuclear plant, up to 100 million Celsius degrees. I mean Fahrenheit degrees, and hopefully they're working on the situation where we can create fusion power. Okay, if they're doing a good job with it. Okay, so now if we get fusion, I don't care how many plants you build, because if you conquer fusion, then we don't have to worry about nuclear waste or anything like that, because it just doesn't, with fusion, that doesn't happen that way. You know, I mean, you could literally touch the stuff and, you won't get radiation or anything like that. But I want to, right. I want to direct this to Donnie, because again, like D was just saying, where's the 5 or 10 politicians right now that have got their hands in California that are going to make some money in their pocket by having everybody driving a freaking electric car by 2035? Okay. Cause anybody that's, can look on a computer and look shit up. You could see the facts that it's impossible for California to do that. And what makes it laughable, guys, is the fact that they're asking their people not to fucking use the electricity now.
Yeah.
Now. I don't think that Californian people are going to want to see 4 or 5 more nuclear plants get risen up just to and again, those 5 might not even do the job. You know what I mean? That was just, when I was reading it was sort of like hypothetical. The dude's just like, oh, you're going to need like 5 nuclear plants just to help. And that might not even do the trick. So I don't know, man. Again, it's about money. And it goes down to Donnie when it comes to the dollar, because, he knows how to follow it better than I do anyways.
Well, okay, let's ask this question. For them 5 nuclear plants, how much carbon is that going to put out? How much do they put out carbon? I mean, what are you running those off of? I mean, the nuclear power and the waste, is that waste from that nuclear plant worse than the carbon that's getting put out from the cars? When do we start measuring that?
But there's a million other ways to listen. I read an article many years ago. I read an article many years ago, and it came with a video that a guy fucking created the way you could drive a car with water.
Yes, I've heard that before too.
Of course, because it's true. I did. I read about it. I read about it. I watched the video on it, and the fucking thing ran on water.
Blaze.
Okay. Do you know?
Ask the money man why they're not doing it.
Because there's no money. There's no money. What a government's going to fight for acres of water? You know what I'm saying? So they could supply their own. Listen, 360,000 acres have nuclear, not nuclear, Jesus, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The shit that catches the sun energy, what's it called?
Solar.
Thank you, Donnie. Solar. 360, 100 miles. I'm sorry, something to that effect. Anyway, it's a lot of land. I apologize. And that energy doesn't even power 100,000 homes. You got all of that on all of that land drawing energy from the sun, and it doesn't even power 100,000 homes.
If that's true, then where are we going to get another power source? Nuclear or
Exactly.
whatever is your only way.
Exactly. There was another guy I read about that built a battery, was the size of my cigarette pack, or maybe a little bit bigger, and he powered 5 homes in his neighborhood, and it was this big. Okay, and he figured out the way to harness the energy and all of that shit like that. He was dead a month or 2 after that.
Nah, but his projects ain't. They're not dead. They're going somewhere.
Exactly. Look at Tesla. Look at Tesla. They killed that guy. FBI showed up, didn't say a word to nobody, stole all his research. I mean, I know I'm going back, the fucking 50 years, 60 years or whatever, but still the whole point is that there's, if you, listen guys, if we could run cars off of water, right? There's no money to be made. People don't want that. And it comes down to exactly what Donnie said at his last set of words when he explained it to everybody is greed. Greed, greed, greed. For me, greed comes first, then money. You know what I'm saying? Because you're greedy about the money. All right.
You got to have some money to get greedy, though. It's like the.
But can we just think about that? Can we just think about that?
I've been thinking about it.
2035, they want to be all electric, and
it's 20. Blaze, I don't think they don't want to sell no more gasoline-powered cars. That's what the 2035. But knowing California and the way you're explaining it, they're probably going to want to push that as well.
Right, because they have people that want some of that money.
Yes.
But, what are you going to do if you're California? Because, no more gasoline-powered engine, that's fine. Then everybody's going to go to diesel. We can fuel that using corn and some other grease.
Yeah, but doesn't diesel fucking spew out more emission fucking bullshit?
No.
Not
it's
with cleaner. It's cleaner.
Oh, okay, that's why it's soapy. All right, yeah.
And especially with the DEF system too.
Yeah, it's cleaner.
The diesel exhaust fluid system.
You go to Europe and some of these other countries.
Okay, but we're still talking petroleum, guys.
Yes,
right,
yes, we are, Blake.
We're still talking petroleum.
But how are you going to get products into California? Because are you going to be dumb enough to say, hey, no gasoline-powered engines in California? Okay, so how are you going to get product there with the semis and that? You already kicked them out of a lot of the towns where they got to do other areas,
Right, that's another thing.
How are you going to get product?
Every interest. Go ahead, D. Go.
The same way they do it here from Mexico to the United States. You come here, you drop it off points, you turn around, and go back. And what they could do in California is just bring it to the borders of the surrounding states, drop it there, turn around, go get your load. But
don't you understand that all of these companies, all these trucking companies now got to convert to fucking electric?
They need a little more to worry about than that. They need to worry about AI driving, autonomous driving with these rigs. Yeah, brother.
Right.
No, but getting back, I really don't think California will ban Swift trucking from going there to the port, that the port is overfilling.
Yeah, because they're running on gasoline. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't think that, but it's gonna it will happen. It will happen.
Listen, guys, I know that 100%. We would all agree on this, that I would love to fucking have it to where, that you don't need a gasoline vehicle, anything that we can, stop. Listen, do you want one volcano explosion can fuck up the Earth's atmosphere than 25 years of fucking cars driving around in this in the world? Okay, one volcano explosion. Okay,
Yes.
just do me a favor and read about it. It'll tell you. Now, before civilization got as huge as it got, and it was it was volcanoes fucking blowing up every other day. You know what I mean? Back in them times and shit.
Yeah,
but go ahead, Donnie.
Well, that's called climate change. The climate changes as it evolves. So
Right.
No.
Not to the extremes, I understand, but
let's back up.
sulfuric acid. But understand this about the electric piece. Volcanoes we can't control. The electric with the gas we can control, and we can make money in different industries. We can create jobs. So that's where that comes from. That's simple for me. You want the electric because you're like, I can control it. System of control. That sounds like socialism type shit. But hey, we'll get into that later. Go ahead, Demus. You got your hand up.
So to piggyback on what Blaze said about, when this earth first started and the volcanoes and stuff and how the climate was basically perfect. And then socialism just triggered me because it brings me up to this little AOAC up there in New York. She made comment about methane gas, how cows are destroying the climate. She did.
Yeah.
Correct, Donnie?
She did.
Correct.
I know she did.
So a scientist got to prove her wrong. And I'm going back to your time, Blaze, where there was 60 million bison running wild in the United States, eating and shitting at the same time. And the earth was perfectly fine.
Good point, D. I love it. That just goes to show that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're just going according to plan.
Yep.
Okay? You get a bunch of fucking scientists together. It was one of the arguments I had with my brother-in-law, Carlos. Okay? We got into an argument about it because I'm like, listen, he's like, well, there's like 70 scientists that say, global climate change is real. And I'm like, yeah, how out of those 70 scientists, how many of them get funded by the fucking government? You know what I mean? So if the government wants you to come out and say there's climate change, you're going to say there's climate change because you want that funding money. Can we agree on that?
Of course.
Yes.
And don't forget, one of our great scientists that are fixing to retire, they almost killed 10% of the population of the world, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Yep.
He was a scientist, but he played with fire.
Right. He got political.
Yes.
He didn't stay a scientist. He didn't stay a doctor. He got fucking political.
Thank you, Blake.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you had corporations in his ears saying, listen, here you go, Doc Fauci. Listen, we haven't sold this many fucking masks. Oh my God, my company made fucking $3 billion in fucking profit last year, bro. Listen, we'll finance whatever kind of crazy drug that you want to do. We'll finance. What do you need? 10 million? Just keep coming out for about another 6 months and saying, yeah, well, you need to wear a mask, man. You know what I mean? Donnie, that's all part of the money, right?
Hell yeah. And you can't tell me that didn't happen. If you sat here and tried to tell me that didn't happen in some way, some form, I'd say you're a liar. Because you can't tell me with that amount
Donnie.
of money that people wasn't skimming some stuff off the top. And that's all most of the arguments probably boil down to up in that Congress and the Senate and all that stuff in D.C. where they vote. It boils down to my constituents in my area aren't getting anything from this, and they're not getting anything from the other one.
Right. What about the ventilators?
My people. Yeah, exactly.
What about the ventilators? Remember when we had Jim? Jim was a part of the show at some point, and he said that his company made parts for ventilators, and his company seen a significant improvement in profits.
Of course.
Increase.
Sorry. What congressperson runs that little district where that company's at or something? Do they have any ties to who's their biggest donors? For their campaign contributions that are all tax free, because that's all these guys are too. They're nothing but money launderers, just like lawyers.
I mean, for real, if you sit back and fucking think of it that way, that's what they are.
The politicians do. It's a campaign fund, right? Yeah, that stuff. Trump wasn't smart enough to hide it all the time, but Sometimes I think Trump was like, I don't care. I'm going to tell you where my money goes. And he would siphon it off into his own companies while people buying $100 glasses of water at his, country club or whatever.
Right.
Because he put it on tax documents. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, that's how they funnel that stuff.
Right.
So there we go.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stick around for more to Rabbit Hole. And when we come back, Donnie's going to trip everybody out, and we're going to start talking about some oath keepers, and we're just going to move forward, and we're going to have a great time with this. So stick around for more to Rabbit Hole. Now, I'm watching you. I can see who's there, and I can see who's watching. Stick around for more to Rabbit Hole. It just gets better and better and better. And we'll be right back in exactly 4 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, stick around for more of the Rabbit Hole.
This morning, the Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism is out with an in-depth analysis of a leaked Oath Keepers membership list from a year ago, which finds there were hundreds of names on it of current or former elected officials, law enforcement officers, and members of the military. The Oath Keepers are a far-right militia group, multiple members of which stormed the United States Capitol during the insurrection and then attack on January 6th. For more on this new report, CEO and National Director of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, joins us now. Jonathan, thanks for being with us. So take us through the report that you all did, how you got your hands on the list, and what were some of the more troubling aspects of what you found?
Sure. Thank you for having me this morning, Willie. And I will tell you, this is a chilling report, the likes of which we've never released before. Last September, ADL analysts were able to get our hands on a data leak of the Oath Keepers membership rolls. There were 38,000 names that were essentially pulled from their records and put out in the open. Our analysts pulled down the information before the Oath Keepers could pull it back. We used open source techniques, including public records, social media, and other methods to review every single name that we found. And I must say, we thought the Oath Keepers were a threat when they rampaged through the Capitol on January the 6th, but we had no idea just how deep the threat truly is. We found hundreds of active law enforcement members who are part of the Oath Keepers, 10 chiefs of police, 11 sheriffs, dozens and dozens of active members of the U.S. military, some 80 individuals who were running for public office, almost 24 of whom made it through the primaries and will be up this fall. And look, you might not know all of these names. Many people might know Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers, who still, months after the terror attack at the Capitol, proudly proclaimed that she was an Oath Keeper and supported the group. But I'm talking about a county commissioner in Nevada, a town justice in New York, a firearms instructor in Pittsburgh, a pastor in North Carolina, and it goes on and on and on. These are individuals with access and influence. These are individuals with resources and training. And these are individuals who have shown us they are willing to commit acts of sedition and violence against the U.S. government.
How are they any different from the Freemasons? How are they any different than that?
I don't remember the Freemasons going around and trying to stomp through, buildings and do the things they did. I don't remember the Freemasons running around, setting buildings on fire, getting, areas where they're under their control and no law enforcement goes. I mean, come on now. That seems a little rough in comparison.
Hey, Donnie, on the 6th of January, it wasn't only the Oath Keepers. It was, what's that other group? Shit, I just had it.
Antifa?
No. Oh, man.
Proud
Black
Boys?
Lives Matter?
No.
Proud Boys? Proud Boys?
There it is. Proud Boys. Yeah, there it is. Proud Boys.
Yeah, what's no different for them is that's the beginnings. You want to see how terrorist groups get activated and how they go. It's like they're in the minors. I see them no different. They're in terrorist activity anymore, man. I'm serious, because that's how it starts. You get them, and they get that single-minded, that cabin. What do they call those cabin filters or whatever? Tunnel vision. There you go. They get tunnel vision, and all they see is their way. And that's why I could see where that list involves, high
officials,
people that sheriffs. I read the one article from we posted in the sheriff thing. Those sheriffs and that, they're like, yeah, I was doing research on them for this and that. Like, one of them was talking about how he went on the website once, and he's just like, okay, whatever, because they subscribed, right? Because they wanted information. Well, guess what you do when you subscribe now? You just became a member, right? So let's put some context into that.
Right. Hey, listen.
A lot of them are saying, no, I do nothing with them boys, but why were you looking
When
at
I
them?
was, I'm sorry, Don, I just want to say this real quick. When I was doing research on them, you know, and I clicked on the link, and all it was asking for, it was like, sign up, give me your email. And I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't sound right. I'm not putting an email on here. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right,
but go ahead, Donnie.
Guess what? Well, you just became a member when you do that, probably. You know, they can be
Exactly.
It could be that simple. So let's put some context to that. But there are some that, you know, like I say, them sheriffs and stuff, and the one article I was reading, they clearly admitted, yes, I went on the website for some research. Or, you know, that was 10, 14 years ago when it was much smaller values. I want nothing to do with them now. So some of that is like that case. If that's a telltale sign right there, when you have a law enforcement official saying, I want nothing to do with you now, that sounds like you're crossing that line into, you know, gang, criminal activity, and other kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why these Oath Keeper things, all these little so-called far right-wing groups, they're no different than the terrorists overseas. They don't have as much training.
Well, here, Donnie, grab your thought, buddy, on your next point. So the ADL, that gentleman that was on the video you just showed, Blaze, he made comment 38,000. Oh, that number is way too low, man, for the Oath Keepers. And I think it's more secretive than that. In Oath Keepers versus Proud Boys, and this is just my only thinking because I did do my little due diligence on research, and I jumped to Proud Boys as well. What I see the Oath Keepers as a more sophisticated group compared to the Proud Boys.
Well, they got politicians in their pockets.
Yeah, brother. But this just tells me people are fucking fed up. They're fed up, man. I mean, we've had right wing groups before in the United States. You know, the fucking FBI go in there, fucking crash them, done, party's over. Okay, let's go to the next one. But wow, we are definitely getting a little too out of control with these right wing groups in the membership. 38,000. That is a camouflage number.
Right, and you know, and I agree with you with that too. You know, but can we? At least for the summer of 2020, you know what I mean, that we could say that Black Lives Matter and Antifa was a terrorist group as well?
Yes.
That's all I want to hear.
And they should have been investigated by the ADL. And let me just spell that out, the Anti-Defamation League. And then also the other one, the Southern Poverty Law Center, which looks at all these hate groups. Definitely BLM should have been involved in it. Antifa.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Do you think that we should have? Do you think that we should continue to stay with the Patriot Act?
Yes. Patriot Act.
Yeah. Whether
I don't.
I do.
Oh, Blaze, what would it do if we did it? And what do you think? Because where are you going with it if we don't follow the Patriot Act? What are you going at?
Well, it all comes down to everything that you're seeing. You know, I'll use Breonna Taylor for an example. That's where the no-knock warrants come from. You know, all of that shit. You could surveil somebody, which was illegal before, but because of Patriot Act, you could surveil somebody. You know what I mean? Even in an American citizen. And now I could see if you had put the Patriot Act the way they wanted it to sound. Was put in place for they can do exactly that for capturing terrorist cells, you know, monitoring anybody they you know seeing that was, you know, out of the ordinary, not use it on the American citizen.
Okay, but here's why I say we need to revamp that Patriot Act, because we need to have the courage to say we're going to use it for possible terrorist organizations. Well, Mr. Oath Keepers or Mr. Proud Boys or Mr. BLM, you know, head dude in charge, Jefe, whatever, that organization, we need to be able to take them same rules and apply them within our borders, because we keep thinking about terrorists and we're thinking outside our borders. Our problems are here now on our own territory, our own land, in our own community.
You
So
think
we need to
because of
police
groups?
ourselves.
We've always had fanatics in this country, though.
But we got to police ourselves. We got to do a better job of that. And if you're doing the Patriot Act, you got to keep ties with it. But that's where it kind of maybe falls off, because some people are like, I'm not going to do it on American citizens. Well, they
now I want to
American
get
citizens and still be terrorists.
I want to get Dee's raised his hand up real quick, Donnie, and then I got a question to ask you that's going to get you full blown into your segment. Dee, go.
In regards to the Patriot Act, if we revamp it or get rid of it, American right-wing groups are not going to be concerned because they're getting looked at right now. Terrorist groups, Al Qaeda, Taliban, all them clowns, they're all going to be celebrating, man. And wait a minute, and especially right now where we don't have a presence in Afghanistan except for CIA and spies. You know, them documents they write, and then President Trump wants to steal them, and then they get killed the next day. But anyways, he don't give a fuck about nobody but himself.
No.
Okay. No, Donnie, good damn point. I think it needs to be revamped, but again, we have people in this country. You know, a lot of people thought my name was fucked up Demas. Shit, wait till you start seeing Abdul, Asin, Ahmad, Akfad. You know, as American citizens, you can't peek at their door because they're Arab nation, Arab culture, or you know, you just can't. And we need to keep the Patriot Act, especially now where we don't have. You know, Biden will say we have all the visibility because of Zawahiri. That was fucking luck. That was fucking luck. We need to keep the Patriot Act. And that's all I got to say. Thank you, gentlemen, for letting me say that.
So, Donnie.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Donnie, just standing there watching it happen, you could be arrested for it.
What are you talking
That's
about?
what That's what I'm wondering, because that's what that cowboy dude from.
I know how to get him started, D. Let him go.
What is it? That city council guy from New Mexico.
Corey.
Convicted.
Corey Goffin. He's the Cowboys for Trump.
Yeah. Cowboys for Trump guy.
And let me say something real quick, Donnie, and I'll give it back to you, brother. Is he was on the local news right here, and you know he's talking about, you know, it's bullshit. They applied the 14th Amendment on me, and then the lady says, "Is the Trump team reached out to you?" No, but I'm still waiting. He dropped him like a fucking bad habit. Like a bad habit.
Oh yeah, of course he did. But there's going to be something worked out where he takes a little fall. Probably he's appealing it, but that's what I'm saying. When you read down into that article and the judge starts talking about, well, it's not so much his actions and more about some of the words that he was speaking to other people. Okay, so he was there and maybe he was talking to some other person in this cowboy organization and they were talking about how they're going to fundraise. Now you're going to, I mean, are you saying that makes you guilty because you're guilty by association now? That just really perturbs me. I mean, how far are you willing to take that? You got him on video saying stuff or what? Because once again, if you're going to charge him with that, what are you doing to Maxine Waters and AOC and all these other people that are over there doing the same thing, stirring the pot, Marjorie Green or whatever her name is down in Georgia? They over stirring that pot with that far extreme bullshit. You better, where's the line in? Come on now.
I got you. So can let me blast this up here so our viewers can get a basic idea before Donnie continues. All right, guys?
I'm on fire.
Jailed leader of the Cowboys for Trump movement, Couy Griffin, went before a federal judge on charges related to the Capitol Hill riot in January. Griffin, who is a New Mexico County commissioner, was held for 2 weeks in solitary isolation because he refused to take a COVID test. Joining me now, NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. Always good to see you, Pete. So what's the latest in the investigation into the riot, and what more can you tell us about Griffin?
Well, his hearing is just getting started. It was supposed to start about half an hour ago, but it's late in getting started. The question is whether he'll be detained pending trial. The government says he's a flight risk and a danger to the community. His lawyers say he isn't either, that because he's a government official, a county commissioner, he's going to obey the law, and there's no need to keep him in detention. The first detention hearing had to be rescheduled because of some various problems that came up. So we'll see how this one goes. The FBI says in the charging documents against him that he was a cowboy performer for Disney in France, and then organized this Cowboys for Trump and met with the president twice, and once in 2019 at the White House, and again when the president visited Albuquerque. By our count, there's about 180 charges that have been filed so far in this investigation out of the who knows how many people that entered the Capitol. The Justice Department says they do intend to charge everybody who illegally entered the facility. Now, Griffin is not actually charged with going into the Capitol. He's charged with entering restricted space, pushing through the barricades that delineated the area where protesters weren't supposed to go. So that makes his case somewhat unusual. But I think the main focus of the investigation, there are several tracks. One is, was this planned in advance? Were certain key people responsible for planning this assault on the Capitol? There have been two charges so far that charge small groups of people with coordinating, but there hasn't been anything about an overall thing. And then secondly, who is responsible for the assault and the death of the police officer, and who planted those bombs? There's now a $100,000 reward for whoever planted the two devices at the headquarters of the Republican and Democratic National Committees.
Go, Donnie.
Well, once again, okay, so from that little thing, they're worried right now about he got into some space he wasn't supposed to be. He crossed a barrier. So now that's seditious and he's trying to do something against the country? Are you serious? Come on now. You gotta give me more facts than that before you say
that's
he did
just
something
what it is.
treasonous and he can't get out of office. He's got to never again be able to have public office or run for office. If that's what we're gonna use to convict somebody, well, Trump's already done. Trump's done.
Exactly.
Lock him up. Lock him
You
up.
know what I mean? Exactly.
But this is where I'm saying we keep talking about our rights are getting, smaller and smaller. Well, as they take more away, guess what? Then you got more government control. This is where we keep talking about, oh, it's so bad here in the United States. I'm so oppressed. Well, if you're so oppressed and you find a place that's not oppressed, then go live there. Nothing's stopping you from staying here.
Right.
Nothing's stopping you. But
Hey.
I'll go like
Hey.
I said, Star Guy. What?
Listen here. Fucking Ozzy Osbourne. He's fed up with the United States.
Yep.
He's gone. He's
Yep.
gone.
Hey,
That
he's not-
and that's
Okay, but you know what I say to that? Don't fucking sell your album in the United States.
you'll buy him.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
Wait, man.
But wait a minute. But that's just the whole fucking point of these idiot fucking, actors and musicians and everybody else under the fucking sun. They run their mouth, but they don't mind getting that cash and that paycheck.
But wait a minute. We didn't talk about money when Oprah Winfrey and Whoopi Goldberg was going to leave the country. We weren't talking about money. They just said it. They didn't do it. Ozzy's
Exactly.
packing up,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he's moving.
Probably
Moving.
get a warrant for his arrest for something.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
whatever,
for biting
whatever.
a bat's head.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the type of government we want. So let's jump on the socialism people that want socialism. They say the government should do everything. So let's look at some stuff going on around the U.S. right now, like in Colorado and California. They're saying that their AC, in Colorado, there was a neighborhood, they were all on these smart devices. Now, they signed up for these energy-saving plans so they could save money, right? So guess what happened with their smart thermostat that the company installed? Their block time to save them money, they shut their AC off during the peak times. It was 90 degrees in their house, and these guys are up in the mountains in Colorado, so that's extremely hot. So they shut it off on them for like 3 hours at a time. Guess
Really?
what? That's your government. Yes, that's your government controlled. That's a public entity.
Right.
The electric
It's
company
like
there.
Right. It's like
utility
North
company that-
Korea. After 8 o'clock
Yeah.
at night, they fucking shut all the lights off.
Well, hey, where it's so oppressed, you can go live in China where they do that to you. But
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
We want more government control, but if we keep giving them more control, that kind of stuff is what's going to happen. They're going to be like, well, you can't live there, or we're going to shut your AC off because you didn't do this, and it's just further leading down that road to where we're on a pay system of merit, where the government, like they experimenting in one of the Eastern Asian countries. Dang, I can't remember. I don't know if it's Japan or there was an experiment. They were experimenting with it where if you obeyed the laws, you did what you're supposed to, you had money in your little account and they scanned your little chip that was planted in your wrist area. But if you didn't pay your bills, you broke a few laws, something, you don't pay your taxes, guess what? There's no money in your account. You can't get on a train. You can't go anywhere. You can't do nothing until you pay whatever it's supposed to pay or whatever it is they want you to do.
Right. So you're pretty much fucked at that
leads
time.
us to. Huh?
You're pretty
Yeah.
much screwed at that time because if they
But,
take
hey.
everything away from you, you can't get a job to pay the money back.
Exactly.
You
But
know?
we want to keep letting the government into our personal business more and more. Well, as we let them into ourselves more, that's what we open ourselves up to. Think about
Well,
it.
that's like that little tidbit that got stuck in one of the bills that, after you deposit $600 in your bank account, Biden would have set up so, the IRS can look and see what you're doing with that. That's none of their
Yeah,
business.
that didn't make it into any bill. The standard is still 10,000 and up for it. It'll red flag it because of
The RICO Act.
money RICO Act and stuff like that, money laundering acts and stuff like that.
I
The
got you.
$15 thing, yes, he wanted to push it, and when he was more pushing
Well-
it, because he wanted to use it for taxes to say people are hiding money so we can tax them more and we can get our deficit in control. So go, Demas.
Just you brought up a key point, taxes, and I heard Mark Cuban the other day was getting interviewed by somebody, and he made the comment, paying your taxes is the most patriotic thing you could do for this country. How did he say it? Patriotic thing you do for this country versus serving the military. So military is one, and two is paying your taxes. Cuban said this, a fucking billionaire. And he busted your girl out there. What's her name? The senator, the female. Warren.
Warren.
No, Warren.
Oh, Warren.
Yeah. Warren is a transplant in Massachusetts. She wasn't born and raised there.
No, of course not.
No.
Okay, but whatever. What was his point? I mean, he's comparing the two, and that's what he's saying. Basically, trying to tell everybody
Well, his
paying your
point-
taxes is how we fund
No.
this country.
His point
No.
is I'm rich and I can afford to pay my taxes.
No, his point
No.
wasn't that. His point wasn't that. His point was fucking these politicians, they love going after billionaires. And Cuba says, I don't mind paying taxes. I don't mind paying extra taxes. But it makes them heroes in front of their constituents that fucking, ooh,
Touche.
she's getting on a billionaire. Ooh. But let's not forget what that billionaire's done to get that money.
Exactly.
You
But-
know?
Let's think about billionaires. Let's really think about it. Let's explain it, Demas. Because take Mr. Elon Musk, Mr. Billionaire building these cars. Who knows how much revenue he created via taxes and just in the community at Del Valle when he's building his little plant over here to build trucks. Think about that. How much revenue that second, third ripple effect of taxes and everything else that creates. Plus the employee taxes they pay for the umpteen millions employees they have, the property taxes they pay for their properties, all that stuff, and yet we're still gonna, try to go after them. But it goes back to what Warren Buffett said years ago, and he's been a staple of it every year. I'll pay extra
could
taxes.
tell you.
You just show me where they go. Show me where my taxes get spent, and he never gets a reply.
Yes. Donnie, concur, agree. Blaze's famous term, touche. I
Francois.
I just, I agree with you totally, brother. You know what I'm saying? I just brought up the tax thing because, it got into my head with Cuban and then how I was crazy about the 87,000 IRS agents. And I understand we have to take
Right.
care of ourselves.
Right, but I agree with Cuban's point too about don't go sit in front of your constituents and act like you did something big. I just wanted to make sure my money went somewhere right. You know what I mean? And I agree with that point. Don't go throwing wins when you really didn't have shit to do with it.
Money Man, got a
You know what I mean?
question.
What?
Did Mark Cuban get his wealth from generational, or did he do it himself?
Oh, he did it himself in tech.
Okay.
He built it out of himself. Yeah.
Not another Donald Trump. Okay, cool.
No,
So
he
that
built
puts
it out
him
of
at
himself.
another tier. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Donnie.
So, yeah. But
The-
I mean, where are we going with it?
I don't
We can go
understand.
all
Not
the way
another
down
Donald
the
no,
Trump.
no. It's and I'm going back to Trump, and I need to stay away. And I'm not gonna. I'm done. I'm done on this.
Well, that's why he's still around, because we keep him in our mouth. We keep talking about it.
Yeah, ask CNN.
Yeah. But that's where I'm just saying about the whole socialism. Oppression is a whole lot different in another place. Feel free to go get it. Like I told you earlier, Demas, people are so like, you have to do it my way, but we're not going to be able to run a country that way. And we're people like groups like the Oath Keepers, all these, what is it, with the zombie movies where they go start a new civilization and they're their own little group and they expand. That kind of looks like some of the crap that's going to go down, and we're going to lead into that. So groups like the Oath Keepers that are very large and have resources, guess who's going to have control? Because they're going to have the money. They're going to have all the money at the top, and they're going to be able to control who goes where, what does what. And then what are we going to do then when we're, oppressed and we're in a socialistic society? Because that's where, I'm telling you, the more we keep letting them take as far as, oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. The guy that wants to do the convention to retalk the Second Amendment so they can take away more gun rights, that's how they slowly create us down that road.
That's crazy. So with that being said, we're going to take our last break for the evening. And when we come back, we're just going to go back and forth to get a little bit more on the Oath Keepers and how it's just a whole crazy mess. But before we throw that clock up there, I just want to share this little video with everybody, and we'll catch us when we come back.
Y'all little silly ass, spoiled ass, entitled kids in the world today can go straight to fucking hell. Let me tell you something. I'm so sick of y'all. And the problem is, where this shit started from in my mind? Two things. Two things started this shit. Number one is when somebody's fucking parent got pissed off because their damn stupid ass child didn't make the fucking team. And then now they went out there and boycotted the shit. Oh, nobody's child should be left out. Yes, the fuck they should. We used to practice. You practice to make the fucking team. And if you were good enough, you made the team. We couldn't wait to get out there and see the list that we make the team, the cheerleading team, whatever it was. You practice. And if you didn't make it, that was all right. You tried harder and you came back next year. See, that's how you build character. Everybody doesn't fucking make it in life. Everybody can't have the job. Everybody just can't win every single time. Your children have to know they are going to fail at some things. And that's how they build character. And they go back stronger the next time. See, y'all made them feel like they supposed to just be handed shit. No, everybody makes a team. Everybody gets a trophy. Stupid ass. And that's why these fucking kids out of control. Another thing y'all should have stopped a long fucking time ago is letting these fucking kids in adult ass conversations. When I was younger, you didn't walk into a fucking room where adults were talking, and it better be somebody damn near dead. And when you walked in there, you said, "Excuse me," very quickly. These stupid ass kids, y'all got your dumb ass kids sitting up in your fucking face with adult ass conversations. Then you want to know why they so fucking grown? Because there's no goddamn separation. They just as fucking grown as you. You got them in all your shit and all your fucking business. So they feel like, fuck, I'm the same age as you. I do the same shit as you. No, there should be a clear fucking separation between you and these fucking kids. Y'all goddamn so fucked up you want your kid to be your best fucking friend. That's what the fuck is wrong with you. You need to be a damn parent. Be a fucking parent. Stop trying to be their damn friend. That's what's wrong with them. So you got no separation between adults and kids, and y'all sit up here making them feel like they're supposed to have whatever the fuck they want just because they want it without working for shit. That's the fucking problem. Y'all made these fucking kids sorry ass, entitled ass fucking brats. And all of them can go to hell. And y'all asses too.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around for more of The Rabbit Hole with yours truly, Bladesman, Mr. D, and Mr. Donald. And it is absolutely an intense show tonight. And, you know, if you want to talk politics, you want to get into politics, you want to do all of this stuff like that, and just tune into The Rabbit Hole. It's a great show. You can send us a message, comment on anything that we're saying. It doesn't matter what platform you're watching us on. We will get your comment. Again, this is our last 20 minutes of The Rabbit Hole. And Do you think that some of these news stories that are out now, well, we're not going to really hear anything as far as big news or news stories for the next two to 3 days because the coverage is just going to be on the Queen of England. But my thing here is, do you think they're coming out with these stories? Not the Queen, but are they trying to suppress the Ukraine, China, and a Russia story?
Ooh, wow.
Just
I could see it. I could see it. I don't know for sure, but I could see it because if we take the American public and you take their mind off of Ukraine and China and Russia, then that frees them up, especially for Democrats, if you can take their mind off of the stories and put the blame on the Republicans right now during the midterm elections. That's a prime time to try to get everybody away because that's an eyesore for Joe Biden. And people are really starting to ask questions about 40 million or whatever, this 1 billion package we're sending to help them. At what point do we say, hey, we're spending all this money over there, but look at the problems we have in our own back door? And the American public they're really starting to voice their opinion. That's
right.
the thing
They're starting to say it.
Social media. Everybody's, oh, it's great. Oh, it can be an enemy too, because it can wrap up on you quick if you say some stuff you ain't supposed to, or you got an outlet for somebody to, voice their opinion that is against some government there.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty bad. So why wouldn't you do that if you're trying to get some votes right now?
And I agree with that statement. And the fact is, does anybody really know what the number is? Is how much that we sent them in aid?
Oh man, and we just because Blinken just went over there with another package. The Secretary
I'm looking it
of
up
State,
right now.
I think it's in the billions.
Yeah, I think we're
This is
close to
sitting
30.
Let's see here. American Spain announced a 1.7 were donated to Ukraine so far. Wow. So how much aid has the U.S. given to Ukraine? It says 13.5 billion. That's per defense.gov. We've done 13.5 billion since January of 2021. 13.5 billion. Couldn't we end world hunger with 5 billion for that one source
Easy.
when they were talking trash to?
You mean create
Elon Musk?
enough housing to get homeless people, veterans, you name it, off the streets? Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a lot of money. I mean, this is where a lot of I'm one of them right now. How long are we going to play the police and just keep doing this? And how long are we going to keep funding this? It's obvious we're funding it. We're a big sponsor of it. You're letting Russia's going over to China or
Asking
North
them for
Korea
money,
maybe to buy
ammunition.
missiles, ammunition. All the while they're going to Iran the same way
I mean,
and getting missiles and ammunition from Iran.
Right. Are
Just
you pretty desperate if you're getting ammunition from North Korea?
There you go. Yes.
I think so.
Yes, but let's not only worry what Russia has in their stockpile. Let's look at our stockpile: beans and bullets. We've came out of Afghanistan war. We spent quite a bit there. I'm not talking money. I'm talking
ammunition, bullets. Yep.
Yeah, bullets. Shells, mortars.
Hey, but that creates jobs. Got to build some more, right?
It's always them jobs have always been there, Blaze, but I don't know where the inventory's at, and that is a national secret. That's something that the average citizen or an ex-president doesn't need to know. To know.
So we don't need to know how you're spending the people's tax dollars.
Yeah, building ammunition with them tax dollars.
Yeah.
What do you want us to tell you how many rounds we have of each? So Putin.
No, because I'm all for supporting our military.
I know you are,
Right,
Blaze. And so is 95% of the public too, man.
You know what I mean? But I mean, as far as like funding, the military, you get those weapons and, I seen an article today I was reading that like the F-35 is almost in military and air forces terms, I'm not going to say obsolete, but they're already looking at Lockheed Martin and Skunk Works to build the next badass plane. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the F-22 has. I don't think the F-35 has seen any combat.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but I can tell you there's always defense contractors out there trying to improve a product or make a new one. They're always giving out schemes and ideas. That's the way it goes. But if you want to fund it, I have a just crazy idea about how you can fund it. How about all this crowdfunding and all this other stuff you pack together in aid? Well, why don't you do the same thing and leave it out to the American taxpayer to maybe go sign up and say, hey, if you can get $5,000, we people will pay it back to you at 2.5%. Right?
You know what they're going to tell you?
Fund it that way.
So did you disagree when that's exactly what Trump was trying to do?
Nope. They're going to tell you to buy treasury bonds.
Right.
That's how when you get what 3%.
Okay, but you got to keep it in there for like 5 years or whatever. But if you really want to fund
it's like a CD. It's like a CD.
But if you really want to do it, preach that. Bring those back. I mean, because at least the money's getting spent right here in our own borders. Come on now.
No, but listen to me. Let's look at the history of the Treasury bond. It was called the war bond.
Yes.
Right.
And the American people bought into what we were doing.
Right.
But now we have no say. It's them sorry.
Well,
we're all sorry. We're all sorry.
What were you going to say, D? Finish it. Finish your sentence.
I can't, man.
We're all a bunch of fucking dumbasses?
No, this is still the greatest country in the world. Still the greatest.
But it's corrupt at the top, no different than anywhere else.
Yes,
but we gotta admit that.
Look at it's still the greatest country in the world. There's a lot of countries that are free. We all know that, right? There's a lot of countries that are free.
Yes,
free elections, free everything, right?
Our conversation we're having right now in them countries, we'd be in jail right now.
Right, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there was. Look at Saudi Arabia. They just sentenced 2 women to like 40 plus years, 25 plus years in jail because they were on social media displaying and saying things that was detrimental to the kingdom. That's what they felt. So they're doing 25, 40 years in a Saudi Arabian prison.
You would think you would think the people would. You would think they would know, Donnie, like, hey, look what happened to Khashoggi.
Yeah.
We're nothing and shit.
You want to talk about your oppression? There's some oppression for you. Afghanistan,
now,
you ain't going to, if you're a female, you ain't going to school no more, really.
Donnie,
you ain't doing shit. You ain't doing shit.
I'm going to marry you. I'm going to give you off to some other guy that traded me for a cow or something. Or, I don't know. There's parts of the world where that still happens. Saudi Arabia, they call it a guardianship type deal, male guardianship. All females have to have one. So they get to dictate where you go, what you do, and stuff like that. They have a say in that. That's oppression.
Yes.
That's
oppression. You got it for the women. You bet your ass. That's oppression.
You got to wear a burqa and all that coming.
Excuse me. I get your point. You know what I mean? In this country, you know what I mean? It's so easy to say, I hate this country. It's so easy to do nowadays, light the American flag on fire. You know what I mean? But like you were just saying, Donnie, you know what I mean? Go try it. Go try it over there. You know what I mean? No way. No way. No way. It's insane, And I commend you two guys because you basically, like inside knowledge. Not shit like me. I'm just reading what I'm reading. You guys experienced it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But let's go to that video.
Of that.
Where that you played before the break.
Hey, and I got some Donnie, but before I know where you want to go with the lady, but I'm really concerned here. This is a TikTok video, If they get so many amounts of views, they get paid. This individual was in his U.S. Army staff sergeant uniform.
Yeah, I didn't
Are
like that.
Are we crossing the lines here?
I
Blaze,
think there,
Blaze, no, it's
I think
no,
there's
it's
some
different.
rules on displaying and being in uniform from it. I think there's something there that I know there were some rules with the political stuff. I just don't remember them all, but I think there's
Yeah.
something in there.
They can hammer them. I'm just saying.
I know
that.
they can. I know they can if
Um,
they want to.
And
Yeah.
I know this for case in point because I've worked with NGOs and AUSA. AUSA was the Association of United States Army, and if we had a soldier in a picture, we definitely had to white out his name tapes.
Yeah.
And if you look at your major
Oh.
companies that invest in the military, they'll have soldiers in camouflage uniforms, but they won't have no name tapes. And that's how they.
No, they won't have name tapes, and they won't have patches either. You take the patches off, the U.S.
Yes,
Army off,
yes,
everything.
yes.
That
And
yeah,
you're
you're
having-
good.
And why?
And you're, because you can't promote the army. That's
Yeah,
you know.
you can't promote it, and you definitely can't profit, and you can't market
Yes.
it as your own.
Yes.
You just can't do that. It's one of them. It's a
Okay,
regulation. it's a rule.
I think I understand, but I'm a little confused. Why does the Army have a commercial? Be all you can be.
That's from the army.
That's from the
That's
Army.
the army. Yes.
Oh,
That's
okay.
from
So we're
Department of
talking
the
about
Army.
individuals. I'm sorry, I got
Individuals,
lost.
yeah.
there. Okay,
I.e. the Geico,
okay.
USAA. You know, they'll have soldiers on there, but you'll see, like Donnie said, no patches and name tapes.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, no
Understand.
identificating mark.
Understand.
But my thing was, I want to
No,
go
go on.
to just the statement. I mean, yes, they get paid, whatever, but the statement is true about you hear people complaining about kids think they're so grown, know so much, and there's this and that. But parents are the ones that raised them, and yeah, maybe we did have them in some conversations that they didn't need to hear. But there's a lot of stuff. We keep lowering the bar as far as what's appropriate, what's not. Take some schools in Oregon. They went away and they passed a law that said the standardized test, that's pretty much gone. You don't have to meet a certain level on what they call essential citing math. You don't have to meet a certain score anymore. You don't take a standardized test. So basically they dropped the requirements of that, and as long as you show up, you can graduate from high school. I mean, why are we dropping that? Because are we actually going to look at, is this test really a true indication of how smart our kids are? If you're doing it for that, great. But if you're doing it because your pass rate, and the numbers aren't there to justify some funding, well, that's just the wrong answer in general. But if it's so you can get
All
more
right,
money,
Donnie.
there you go.
I got that for you, buddy. I demissed it, and
I saw it.
I had a funny feeling you was going to ask for this again. I don't know why, but I had a funny feeling. But anyway,
Why we don't?
Y'all little silly ass, spoiled ass, entitled kids in the world today can go straight to fucking hell. Let me tell you something. I'm so sick of y'all. And the problem is, you know where this shit started from in my mind? Two things started this shit. Number one is when somebody's fucking parent got pissed off because their damn stupid ass child didn't make the fucking team. And then now they went out there and boycotted the shit. Oh, nobody's child should be left out. Yes, the fuck they should. We used to practice. You practice to make the fucking team. And if you were good enough, you made the team. We couldn't wait to get out there and see the list that we make the team, the cheerleading team, whatever it was. You practice. And if you didn't make it, that was all right. You tried harder and you came back next year. See, that's how you build character. Everybody doesn't fucking make it in life. Everybody can't have the job. Everybody just can't win every single time. Your children have to know they are going to fail at some things. And that's how they build character. And they go back stronger the next time. See, y'all made them feel like they supposed to just be handed shit. No, everybody makes a team. Everybody gets a trophy. Stupid ass. And that's why these fucking kids out of control. Another thing y'all should have stopped a long fucking time ago is letting these fucking kids in adult ass conversations. You know, when I was younger, you didn't walk into a fucking room where adults were talking, and it better be somebody damn near dead. And when you walked in there, you said, "Excuse me," very quickly. These stupid ass kids, y'all got your dumb ass kids sitting up in your fucking face with adult ass conversations. Then you want to know why they so fucking grown? Because there's no goddamn separation. They just as fucking grown as you. You got them in all your shit and all your fucking business. So they feel like, fuck, I'm the same age as you. I do the same shit as you. No, there should be a clear fucking separation between you and these fucking kids. Y'all goddamn so fucked up you want your kid to be your best fucking friend. That's what the fuck is wrong with you. You need to be a damn parent. Be a fucking parent. Stop trying to be their damn friend. That's what's wrong with them. So you got no separation between adults and kids, and y'all sit up here making them feel like they're supposed to have whatever the fuck they want just because they want it without working for shit. That's the fucking problem. Y'all made these fucking kids sorry ass, entitled ass fucking brats. And all of them can go to hell. And
Some rough talk.
But there's truth to it. When did
There's
the
a bunch of truth to
participation
it. A bunch of truth to it. Go ahead,
I
Don.
don't remember participation trophies. It just was like, no, you got to go play or whatever because you were trying to get better and you were trying to compete.
Right. You didn't make minor leagues. You know, if
Yeah,
there
it
was
was
room
okay.
for you on a farm club, then that's where you would go.
Right,
You know,
it was
and if
okay
you
with
just
that.
didn't make it, you know, you played baseball with your friends outside or whatever. And then when baseball season started up, you hoped that your skill got better so you could make a team. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Now
Blake.
it's like, you know, hey, little Johnny can't catch the ball for shit. Let's throw him in right field. I had to do it. Every
Blake.
kid on my team had to play at least 2 innings. Okay. And I'm sorry to say this, but you know where you put that kid because you had to take that kid on your team. If the parents showed up, that kid didn't even have to play. He could have sat down and he would have made a team. So what you do with that kid for 2 innings, you throw him in right field. Okay. Because, you know, 90% chance that ball's not getting hit in right field. You know what I mean? So,
Hey, Blaze, you're the president of Little League Baseball
yes, sir. Yes.
Association.
Yes.
Did you guys give out participation trophies?
That's what I was just explaining to you. Yes. Everybody at the banquet, everybody got a trophy. Everybody.
And who was that coming from? Parents, the league, the committee members?
It comes from the parents. Did you not hear what that woman was just saying, brother?
Yeah, I did.
You
I
know?
did. But I'm going to the source because of your history.
No. Okay, and I appreciate that. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. I put a girl on my team. I was the only one that put a girl on a team. Like drafted a girl. There was a girl on another team, but she started with that club since she could. You understand what I'm saying? So she started at that club when she was like 12. And then when she reached 16, you know, you don't play for that team no more. But she liked playing baseball so much that poor girl always went to every year. She went back to her old team. Every year went back to her old team. Okay. And all they did with this poor girl was let her play right field 2 times an inning because they had to. Me, I put my girl right on fucking second base. She's like, Coach, can I learn how to play second base? I said, you want to play second base?
Okay,
I said, all I'm going to say to you right now, I says, for a man, I said, that ball hurts when you get hit in the chest. Okay? That's all I want to say to you. But if you feel that you're not scared to get your body in front of that ball, hell yeah, go ahead and play second base. You know what I mean? And she did a damn good job. We had to work on her hit, and she couldn't hit for shit. But she wasn't afraid of the damn ball on second base. I'll tell you that right now. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why she was on my team, and she got to play. You know, she got to play more than 2 or 3 innings. Huh?
Right, but that's the point exactly right there is that you put them in there, and are we really doing them a service by letting them sit in there for 2 innings and just, you know, with that slumped over shoulders, like, are we really doing kids a service? Really, are we? Because we're making them sit through something they don't want to do.
It's
how
the
about we
parents.
challenge them
They're
more?
doing it for the
You
parents.
know what? You know
Yeah.
all you had to do to that person, that girl or that boy, all you had to do was for one game, throw him in center field. My God, that would have made their day. They would have, you know what I mean? They would have
But that's
talked
my
to their
point.
parents about it. They would have been so proud of being in just to do that, you know, because if you're not, the whole point of baseball is one, building character as much as you can with kids and teaching them how to fucking play baseball.
Right, but
You know what I
that's
mean?
another point I'm making that is we make them go doing it because they don't want to disappoint their parents. But as a parent, if you can see that Johnny is just not into baseball, and you know,
Right.
and the way you all this stuff, if you, it's not like when maybe I remember when I was a kid, it was just the city ran a youth league, right? Well, the YMCA, any kind of skills, whatever, you got to find an AAU team, and that costs dollars if you want to get any good, you know,
Right.
and get somewhere. So
Right.
instead of making Johnny sit through that, how about you challenge Johnny and you challenge his mind, either electronics, computer programming. Let's find something else, maintenance, that can inspire Johnny, and make sure we tell Johnny it's okay that you don't want to play sports. But we got
Exactly.
that want to drill it in the head. No. And it's just like at middle school.
Exactly.
At middle school, if you take athletics, you got to play 2 sports. Why do the kids have to play sports to do athletics for a period? That's basically PE. So they want to just go around and play basketball or do whatever, mess around with baseball, try to keep a little bit of. Why is that wrong? That shouldn't be
And
wrong.
you
That should be fine.
and you would know, and you would have known as a parent sooner if Johnny wasn't into sports, if they still had PE. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? If school
Right.
still had PE, you would have known earlier, you know, what he's into, shit like that. But
It's
anyways,
called
that's
athletics now.
right. Listen, right. But all I'm saying for me, you know what I mean? When I was running the club and stuff like that, man, you know, don't just put the kid on your team because you have to, because it's regulation, because it's rule. You know what I mean? If you're going to put the kid on your team, teach the child something, you know?
Right.
So
Of
that's
course.
where I am with that, guys. And that's where we are with right now on the rabbit hole. I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. And I'd like to thank everybody who watches the pre-recorded show right here on FFN Radio Network and Blazeman Media. I'd like to thank my co-host once again, Mr. D, Mr. Donald, and of course, myself. We just like discussing politics. That's what we enjoy to do. That's what we like to do. Each one of us lives in a totally different state. That's why we do remotely. That's why we're good at what we do here at FFN Radio Network. You know what I mean? And we don't always agree. And you can tell by this segment, we don't always agree with one another. Okay? We're independent and 2 conservatives. You know? You know, that's just it, you know?
All right, Barack.
So, but I know I'm fucking you up with my speech, huh? But anyways, listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into the rabbit hole. Don't forget to catch us next Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Don't forget to catch Good Times in Fall River Wednesdays, every Wednesday night, right here on FFN Radio Network, Blazeman Media. Good night, everybody. D, final thoughts.
No feedback required. I just got a couple of notes for the night before I close out. The 11th Sunday is going to be the 21st anniversary of 9/11. A sad day in our history, let's not forget. But what a great time for the NFL to regain its status with the majority of its veterans. And I got a couple of ideas. I really got a couple of ideas for the opening ceremonies because you know they're going to kick it off. Couple of ideas, just 2. Just have everybody stand. Chew gum, play with your butt. I don't care, just stand. Or even a better one, have all the team out there holding that beautiful flag. The FBI is getting a bad rap, and that's due because they're senior leadership. We have great FBI agents in the field offices, and let's not forget that. And my final comment, Blaze and Donnie, once Thank you guys. I really had a good time today. I know we're going to discuss what we're going to talk about next week. Don't worry. Meghan Markle, she'll have plenty to talk about to fuck up this Queen's burial. And that's all I have.
Donnie.
Thanks everybody for listening, tuning in, watching, however you're, interacting with us. Best wishes, thoughts, prayers, all that good stuff for the royal family, UK, all Europe, all that area, because I know that's pretty deep and there's a lot of hurt. She was there for a long time. Good woman. We lost a good one.
7 years. God bless the Queen.
Like I always say, think positive and let's open our eyes to what we're doing as a government, because I think we're going in a bad direction. So listen to y'all next week. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks a lot, guys. Always a pleasure. Thank you, everybody out there again, for watching The Rabbit Hole. Again, catch us next Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the United States. Peace and love to each and every one of you out there, and good night.